What if I told you there's a tiny house layout that feels more luxurious than homes 10 times its size? And it doesn't require marble countertops, floor-to-ceiling glass, or a six-figure budget. In fact, this design has been used for thousands of years by wealthy families, luxury resorts, and some of the world's greatest architects. Yet today, almost nobody building tiny homes talks about it. The best part? You can build a simple version for around $35,000 if you're willing to do much of the work yourself. But there's one reason most builders avoid this layout, and if you don't understand it before you start, it could cost you thousands. We'll get to that in a few minutes. When people imagine a dream tiny home, they usually think about saving space. Murphy beds, loft bedrooms, fold-down tables, hidden storage. Those ideas are clever, but they all focus on squeezing more function into less space. Very few people ask a much more important question. How can a tiny home actually feel bigger? Not by adding square footage, by changing the way you experience it. That's exactly what the Courtyard layout does. Instead of pushing every room toward the outside walls, it wraps your home around a private open space that's completely your own. The result is something surprising. A 400-square-foot home can feel calmer, brighter, quieter, and far more expensive than many houses twice its size. Today, we're going to break down how this centuries-old design works, what it really costs in 2026, why it creates such a dramatic feeling of space, and the costly mistakes you need to avoid if you're thinking about building one. Let's start with the reason this idea has survived for over 2,000 years. The design that never went out of style. Good architecture has one thing in common. It solves problems that never change. People have always wanted sunlight, fresh air, privacy, a quiet place to gather with family. Long before air conditioning, massive windows, or smart home technology, architects discovered that arranging rooms around an open courtyard solved all of those problems at once. The ancient Romans built homes around an atrium that became the center of everyday life. In Morocco, traditional riads used enclosed courtyards to create cool, shaded spaces protected from the heat and the busy streets outside. Japanese homes often used interior gardens to blur the line between indoor and outdoor living. Spanish haciendas followed the same principle. Different countries, different climates, different building materials. Yet they all arrived at nearly the same solution. That's usually a sign that something works exceptionally well. Fast forward to today, and you'll notice something interesting. Many of the world's highest-end boutique hotels use this exact concept. Not because it's trendy, because it creates an emotional experience. When you step into a courtyard, something changes immediately. Traffic noise fades away. The outside world disappears. Instead of looking at neighboring houses, parked cars, or fences, every room looks toward a peaceful space that's entirely yours. That feeling is difficult to measure on a blueprint. But it's exactly why these homes feel so much larger than they actually are. And that leads to one of the biggest misconceptions about tiny homes. People think square footage determines comfort. It doesn't. Perception does. A well-designed 400-square-foot home often feels more enjoyable than a poorly designed 700-square-foot one. The courtyard proves it. Why this layout feels so much bigger. Here's something most people don't realize. Our brains judge space by what we can see beyond the walls. In a conventional tiny house, your view usually ends at the edge of the room. Maybe you see a neighboring fence. Maybe another house. Maybe your driveway. Mentally, that's where the space stops. A courtyard changes that completely. Every major room opens toward another living space. The kitchen looks into a garden. The bedroom looks toward greenery. The living room opens to fresh air. Even though the courtyard isn't an enclosed living space, your brain naturally includes it as part of the home. That's one reason luxury resorts often feel incredibly spacious without having enormous rooms. They constantly connect indoor spaces with beautiful outdoor spaces. Now imagine waking up on a spring morning. Instead of opening your blinds to someone's parked truck across the street, you slide open a glass door into your own quiet courtyard. Maybe there's a small tree, a fire pit, a couple of comfortable chairs. Your dog is already lying in the sun. You make coffee and step outside barefoot. Nobody is watching. Nobody walks past your window. For many homeowners, that feeling of privacy is worth far more than adding another 100 square feet to the floor plan. And privacy isn't the only advantage. The layout naturally improves airflow. Warm air rises through the open courtyard while cooler air moves through the surrounding rooms. Open windows on opposite sides create natural cross-ventilation, reducing the need for mechanical cooling during much of the year. Natural light improves too. Instead of depending entirely on windows around the outside walls, light enters from multiple directions, reaching deeper into the house throughout the day. The result isn't just a brighter home. It's one that feels healthier, calmer, and more connected to nature. That sounds expensive. But surprisingly, it doesn't have to be. The real cost comes down to one important decision. And that's where most people get it wrong. What does it actually cost? This is the point where a lot of YouTube videos become unrealistic. You'll hear someone say they built an incredible tiny home for $35,000. Then you discover they already owned the land, had free help from family, or forgot to mention another $40,000 in site work and utilities. So let's be realistic. A $35,000 courtyard tiny house is possible, but only under very specific conditions. You're doing much of the labor yourself. You're building a relatively compact home, around 350 to 450 square feet. You're using standard materials instead of luxury finishes. And most importantly, you're building an open courtyard, not a fully enclosed glass atrium. That last point makes an enormous difference. Many people picture a courtyard with a dramatic glass roof stretching across the center. It looks stunning in magazine photos. It also dramatically increases costs. A glass roof requires stronger structural supports, specialized glazing, drainage systems, flashing, waterproof detailing, and often custom fabrication. Leave the courtyard open to the sky, and suddenly much of that complexity disappears. Instead of building an expensive room, you're simply creating an outdoor space using walls you already needed. Here's what a realistic DIY budget might look like in 2026. The foundation usually falls somewhere between $3,000 and $6,000, depending on your location and soil conditions. Then you'll need permits, utility connections, electrical materials, plumbing supplies, flooring, paint, and countless smaller purchases that always seem to appear during construction. Add everything together, and a disciplined owner-builder can realistically stay close to that $35,000 target. Hire professionals for every stage, however, and the budget changes dramatically. Labor is often the single biggest cost in residential construction. A professionally built courtyard tiny home can easily climb into the $70,000 to $120,000 range, depending on finishes, location, and customization. That's why the headline price isn't really the story. The story is value. You're not paying extra to create privacy. You're simply arranging the same square footage in a much smarter way. But if that's true, why doesn't everyone build tiny homes like this? Why architects and builders rarely recommend it? This is where the title of this video starts to make sense. It's not that architects dislike courtyard homes. Many architects absolutely love them. The challenge is that developers and production builders don't. And there's a big difference. Imagine you're a company building 100 homes every year. Your goal isn't to create the perfect home for every family. Your goal is efficiency. Simple rectangles are faster, cheaper, easier to frame, easier to roof, easier to repeat hundreds of times. A courtyard changes all of that. Instead of one simple box, you're creating additional exterior walls, more corners, more roof transitions, more flashing, more waterproofing details, more planning. Even though the overall square footage stays similar, construction becomes less standardized. That doesn't necessarily make it a bad investment. It just makes it less attractive for builders focused on speed and volume. Then there are zoning challenges. Many neighborhoods have setback requirements that limit how close you can build to property lines. On a narrow lot, fitting a courtyard while meeting local regulations may simply not be practical. There's also roof design. A basic rectangular roof is straightforward. A U-shaped or O-shaped home introduces valleys, drainage planning, and additional structural considerations. Again, none of these are deal breakers. They're simply reasons why production builders often choose easier layouts. Ironically, that's exactly what makes courtyard homes feel so special. They're designed around how people actually live, not around how quickly a developer can build them. And if you're building your forever tiny home, that's a very different priority. The 5 mistakes that can ruin the design. Even a brilliant layout can fail if it's executed poorly. The first mistake is making the courtyard too large. Many people assume bigger automatically means better. It doesn't. If the courtyard becomes oversized, the surrounding rooms lose the sense of enclosure that makes the space feel intimate. Instead of creating a peaceful outdoor room, you've simply created a backyard trapped in the middle of the house. Smaller courtyards often feel warmer, cozier, and surprisingly more luxurious. The second mistake is ignoring orientation. Sunlight changes everything. A well-positioned courtyard welcomes winter sunshine while providing comfortable shade during the hottest months. Get that wrong, and the space becomes either unbearably hot or permanently gloomy. The third mistake is forgetting about privacy details. The walls provide most of the privacy, but thoughtful landscaping makes an enormous difference. A single ornamental tree, climbing vines, decorative screens, tall grasses. These simple elements soften the space and make it feel like a private retreat instead of a concrete box. The fourth mistake is overspending on features that don't improve everyday living. Luxury lighting, massive sliding glass systems, designer outdoor furniture. Those things look great in photographs, but they aren't what makes the courtyard special. The layout itself is the luxury. Finally, there's one mistake almost nobody mentions. Trying to copy luxury architecture without understanding why it works. Expensive homes don't feel luxurious simply because they're expensive. They feel luxurious because every space has a purpose. Every view is intentional. Every transition feels natural. That's something you can achieve with thoughtful design, not just a larger budget. At first glance, the courtyard tiny house doesn't look revolutionary. It's still a small home. It still has the same walls, the same rooms, and many of the same materials as any other build. But the experience is completely different. Instead of feeling like you're living inside a compact box, it feels like every room extends into its own private outdoor sanctuary. That's something square footage alone can never buy. And maybe that's the biggest lesson here. The homes that feel the most luxurious aren't always the biggest or the most expensive. They're the ones designed around the way people actually want to live. If you enjoyed this breakdown, let me know which tiny house layout you'd like us to explore next. There are several surprisingly affordable designs that most people have never heard of, and some of them completely change what's possible in a small footprint.